Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello and welcome to our final day of ECL Elite Division quarterfinals coverage right here on twitch.tv/sportsgamer.gg. My name is Brandon B.H. Bigsby Sin, not with me here today, but ladies and gentlemen, we have got an amazing conclusion to a great series on tap here for you today. Number 7 Unwanted versus number 2 Straikers. These two had two compelling games just a couple of days ago on Monday here on the channel, and we saw them last year go almost the distance. The series went to 6 games a year ago. Could very well go the same or potentially even that decisive Game 7 here today. It should be a blast. Can't wait to get things started. In case you have not been with us for some of our coverage last week as well as yesterday as we saw the conclusion of our series between Tunnel Vision and Bjorklov and Esports, we'll give you a quick look at the bracket just to catch you up on everything that has happened around the league. And as you can see, we've had a couple of the bigger known teams, the most well-known teams, punch their ticket into the semifinals. Unwanted and Esports, your defending champion, got pushed to the brink versus that 8 seed in the Blackjacks, but were able to get the job done in Game 7 to avoid that massive upset. After them, we had Exen sweeping to 30, and then yesterday, Tunnel Vision pulling off the 4-1 series victory over the rookie team in Bjorklov and Esports. And now, one of these two teams will join Unwanted and Esports, Exen and Tunnel Vision in that Final Four, and there's going to be some seeding here on the line as well. That 1 versus 5 matchup is not finalized. That will only happen if Straikers are the ones that manage to get their way into the semifinals. If not, then Unwanted would play Unwanted in Esports. Exen would slot up and play against number 3 Tunnel Vision, as that number 1 seed does get the right to play the lowest seed available. So therefore, these matchups in the semifinals not finalized. It'll just depend on who goes through here today. But we got to find out who's going to go through, and we'll be finding that out in just a matter of 10 minutes or so here. But before we get there, let's go ahead and look at the matchups between these two teams, shall we? Unwanted versus Straikers, and you can see those games we saw Monday, very, very even across the board. A 2-3 difference in the goals that were scored. We saw Unwanted win the first game 2-0. Striker, or 2-1 rather, Straikers win the second game 2-0, and just that one goal differential between these two teams. We said it, these two have been very even in the past. Unwanted seemed to be a really good matchup for Straikers. They test them about as well as any other team really in this division so far. That has really shown itself. But the one thing that is a little bit surprising, Straikers, the number 1 power play in the league this season, went 0 for 4 when on the man advantage on Monday night. So Unwanted's penalty kill doing a good job of stifling that power play time the Straikers have had. Gonna have to try to stay out of the box, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But nevertheless, very impressive stuff from Unwanted when they have been shorthanded. Take a quick look at the starting lineups for both of these two teams. As you can see it pop up right there on your screen. We will start out with the 7 seed in Unwanted, the forward trio, the left winger in Henka, the center in Suf, and the right wing in Laune. While back on defense, it'll be Snus at left D and Peaky Sardi at right D, and then in between the pipes, it'll be the rookie goaltender Carlson Adam. While for Straikers, the usual lineup of players for them: left wing Puanso, center Eki, and right wing Templeton to round out their forward trio. On the back end, the defensive pairing will be Nasistelia at left D and Flyer Kungan at right D. And at goalie, it'll be the legend himself, and Hanselinho, 4th in all-time shutouts, added to that tally in the game on Monday in game number 2. Take a look at the center matchup, Suf versus Eki, and we talked about this matchup on Monday being a fun one to watch because you have a guy at Eki that has been known to really dominate at just about every position seemingly in the game. He's been amazing all season long, and here he is once again contributing those 2 assists and 2 points, 55% at the faceoff dot, while Suf on the other end has been a really underrated center this season. Matched Eki, or actually passed Eki in total points this season. He's been solid defensively for this team all season long. Suf, a guy that can both score and also dish the puck out, 26 goals, 25 assists during the regular season. So he's proven himself to be one of the better end centers in this division. And going up against a guy like Eki that, as we mentioned, is pretty much a jack of all trades and elite at any position you put him in. Really impressive to see what Swift has been able to do. So these two are going to be a lot of fun to watch here through games 3 through 7. Moving on to the wingers now for both of these two sides, and you see Unwanted having their wingers really step up for them. Henka with 2 goals. You see Laune with a point. The more surprising thing, I think, is just the shot difference between these two sides. Puanso with 7 shots, Tempinen with 11, while just 2 shots for Laune in 2 games. Henka with 4 shots in 2 games. That's something that you would like to see be a little bit higher end. This is an Unwanted team that, coming into the playoffs, did not shoot the puck a whole lot. Second least amount of shots per game out of any team in the league, and the difference between them and the last place team was by 0.1. So not many teams shoot the puck less than this Unwanted team. Henka and that Laune gonna probably look to get the puck off their stick a little bit more on net compared to what we saw from them in that first couple of games on Monday, while Puanso and Tempinen just continuing to mesh, continuing to make plays, each of them with a goal in those games on Monday. It'll be fun to see how they can make something happen here today. Defensive pairs for these two teams, as this is where the game and the series could very well be won or lost. We've talked a lot about Nasu Stelia and Flyer Kungen, the former teammates at Havu, coming over together for Straikers over the last few seasons. They have gelled really well back there. We're used to seeing Flower Kungen up on the wing, usually either a right wing or a center, but moved back to defense this season. And man, he has been a natural back there with Nasistelia, who's been holding down that left D spot well over the last few seasons. And then on the other end, Snuts and Piki Sardi, who both have been very good in their own right, both very different. You see Snuts kind of favoring more towards the shots blocked, while Pikisardi more towards the hits, but they have both been very solid. As we mentioned, they kept Straikers to just 1 goal during the entirety of that game number 1, and in game number 2, Straikers got both of their goals in that third period. So it goes to show you on the defensive end what Unwanted have been capable of. Those 2 men on your left side, a very big reason as to why. But a big reason why you don't allow goals, the goaltending. And these two teams have had some of the best playoff goaltending I think you could ask for. The stats represent that very well. We'll start out with Hanselinho for Straikers. We talked about it. One of the legends of this ECL Elite Division, has won championship after championship, has pretty much posted every accomplishment that you possibly could for a goaltender in the ECL. An 87.5 save percentage, a 1.0 GAA, has that shutout in game number 2. Really is a big reason that Straikers won that game number 2. Was stellar during the first 2 periods where Straikers were still looking to find that first goal. Both teams were looking to find that first goal. So he's going to be someone that I think steps up big here once again today. But the question is, how does the rookie Carlson Adams step up? He was admirable in games number 1 and 2, a 91.2 save percentage, despite that 1.50 GAA in those 2 games played. He was absolutely amazing, so fun to watch, really carried that team, you felt like, in that game 1 victory, a 2-1 victory that they had. So it goes to show you what he was able to contribute. I was actually able to talk to Carlson Adams after the games on Monday a little bit about his team and this series against a familiar opponent in Straikers. Let's turn it over to him and hear what he had to say. I'm here with Unwanted goalie Adam Carlson, better known to all of us as Carlson Adam. Carlson, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me here before games tonight.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, your Unwanted group finds yourself in a 1-1 series against the Straikers team heading into today. I got to ask you, man, how are you guys feeling about your play and where things stand so far here in this series?
Yeah, I think we played pretty decent tonight. We had some trouble making the offense working, but we got 1 game and we're happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, these 2 teams have been just so even so far in the series. I know you know that as well as anyone being in between the pipes. I got to ask you, from your perspective, what have you seen so far from the first 2 games that stood out to you?
Yeah, Strikers like to play with a lot of puck and circle around in our zone. And we just need to have patience and wait on the counterattacks and score.
Yeah, counterattacking has been such a key, pivotal part of the series, it feels like, not just for them, but for you guys as well on the offensive end. You know, speaking of you guys and Straikers, few teams have seemingly been able to make Straikers work as hard in each game as you guys have so far throughout this season, even going back to last season, I got to ask you, man, what do you feel like makes this Unwanted team match up so well against the Straikers team? Is it because of the similar play styles? Is it something that you guys do against them that maybe other teams aren't doing? What is it that helps you guys find so much success against this team whenever you match up against them?
Yeah, I don't know actually. I think it's fun games when we meet Straikers. They shoot a lot of on the net, and that's fun for me. But yeah, I don't know why it's so tight between us.
Hey, fair enough. It has worked for you guys so far to this point. Carlson, last question for you. Don't want to take up too much of your time. This team has been in this situation before, a 1-1 series with Straikers heading into the final day of the playoffs, and you find yourselves in this position again with this chance to win the series today. What does Unwanted need to do to pull off this upset, knock out Straikers, and punch your ticket into the semifinals?
Yeah, we need to step up our offense and score more goals. I think we play a little bit too hard in the offensive zone, and I think we we want that revenge from last season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, this series has been an absolute blast for me and Sin to watch up in the booth. Hopefully, you guys have had just as much playing as we have taking it in. Carlson, thank you so much once again for taking the time and joining us today. Best of luck to you guys the rest of the series.
Thank you.
All right, a big thank you to Carlson Adam for taking a few minutes there to chat with us after those games on Monday. Some great stuff from him. Always appreciate when the players and teams take a few minutes out of their day to talk to us here to set up these interviews like that one. And speaking of Unwanted, what are the keys to success for them coming into this game and the rest of the series? Well, for starters, they've got to shoot the puck more and or even out possession time. At least one will do. Both would be great. We saw that they did not shoot the puck really much at all during the regular season. That carried over into those two games that we saw on Monday night. You go back and look at the total stats. 10 shots on goal in game one, just 6 shots on goal in game number 2, 16 shots in 2 total games. That's not going to cut it typically against the Straikers team. And this is an Unwanted team that really does thrive on play styles. They really do thrive on making sure to go up and down. They love counterattacking. They use their speed. They're very opportunistic, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a few minutes. But nevertheless, this is an Unwanted team that is going to have to try to even out that time on attack or those shots a little bit to not give Straikers an extra bit of advantage. Number 2, stay out of the box. They went 4 for 4 on the penalty kill on Monday night. That is amazing. If you can trust that PK, great, but you don't want to get yourselves in too much trouble. This is a Straikers team that, as we mentioned, were the number 1 power play in the league during the regular season at 36%. If you put yourself in the box too many times, once they're going to take advantage of it, and you do not want it to be that one time where it can make the difference between a win and a loss. Those are the small margins that it can be between a difference of going home early or punching your ticket into the semifinals. Unwanted are going to have to make sure they can stay out of the box and limit those penalties. And then last but not least, as we mentioned, this is an opportunistic team. Continue to be opportunistic. This team thrives on those counterattacks. They love using that speed. We saw them use a little bit of flair with that speed, with what was a beautiful play between Henka and I believe it was Snuts or Stuf, actually, that got them a great one-timer play in that game one. That was the eventual game winner. So be opportunistic. If you see Straikers make that mistake, make sure you capitalize on it. When you have that opportunity for an man rush, make sure you capitalize on it. That is going to be something Unwanted that's going to want to do here in this game and in the rest of the series. While on the other end for Straikers, a little bit different, and it's going to be fun to watch them because a lot of these things we are going to talk about are things they have done all season. Continue to control the possession, capitalize on the power play chances, and then limit Unwanted's counterattack. Number 1, controlling that possession. That's a big part of what Straikers love to do. They love to hem you in your own zone. They love to cycle it around, but they also are not afraid to rip that puck on net. And that is what makes them so fun to watch because they are so high octane. It's not just a team that holds it around and then waits for that perfect opportunity. No, they are going to move that puck around quickly, space you out, and then take the first opportunity that they can get. That is the difference between Straikers and a lot of other teams that you see in the ECL. It makes it for some fun hockey to watch. It makes it hard to defend. It makes makes goaltending even more important. So Straikers are going to want to try to do that, to put some of that pressure on that Unwanted side, capitalizing on power play chances. Again, I think that they're going to get it going on the power play here today. 0 for 4 on the power play in those first 2 games, as we mentioned, but if they continue to take penalties, Unwanted that is, Straikers eventually are going to capitalize. This team is too good, too talented, and have had too much success to not capitalize on those power play chances. But if they don't, and they don't win the series, that could potentially be a reason why the league's best power play going cold at the wrong time. So they're going to have to try to take advantage of that here if they get those chances here in these next few games. And lastly, limit the counterattack of Unwanted. We talked about how Unwanted loves to use their speed. If you cause those turnovers, they are typically going to take advantage on the other end. So they're going to want to limit that counterattack. Make sure you have guys in front. Don't let them get those odd man rushes, because that is when they love to pounce, is when they force that mistake and go on the other end, force that odd man rush, use that speed, and get past the defense to get a quick and easy look on the goaltender. So going to be interesting to see how these two teams can execute these things. A trip to the semifinals is on the line. And as we mentioned, we saw a thriller with these two last season. It went to 6 games. Unwanted were up 2-0 with less than 30 seconds left in the third period of Game 6. Straikers scored 2 goals to tie things up, won it in overtime, clinched the series, and ended up punching their ticket into the semifinals. We'll see if there's a little bit more of that same drama here today. If there is, then, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to make sure to stay around here for the entirety of this series, as we will go back into the booth and these two teams get things set up. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this one goes, because as we mentioned, these are two teams very familiar with each other. Unwanted have had a lot of success against this Straikers team in the past. It has always been back and forth. We've seen plenty of one-goal games. Matter of fact, if you go ahead and include the game from Monday, I believe 7 of their last 9 meetings have been decided by 1 goal, including 3 or 4 of those heading into overtime. So this is one of the closest matchups that we have in the ECL today. They meet now for a trip to the semifinals, and boy, it is going to be so fun to watch. We're going to take a short break and hear a quick word from our sponsor and Quarterfinals. When we come back, we will have puck drop for game number 3 between Unwanted and Straikers. So make sure you stick with us. Game time in just a couple of minutes.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Kouvolalla lakukastike maistuu parhaalta. Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Alrighty, thank you for sticking with us. We are back, and we are back with gameplay. Game number 3 between Unwanted and Straikers, ready to get set. Puck drop in a matter of seconds, as you see both teams right there lined up and ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is going to be a thrower. I have a good feeling about this one. These two have delivered in the past. I think they're going to deliver here again, as we have Unwanted and Straikers. We start things out on the perspective of Unwanted, and we are underway as Straikers win the opening faceoff, and Snuts gets it off the turnover and controls it. Gives it over to Suf and finds his way to Henka. Henka back to the point to Snuts. Back down to Henka at the left corner board. Couldn't find anything, and he goes down a little loud next behind the net. Now to Henka again over at the left post, and it goes back to the point to Snuts. Henka with it, poked off, and he finds his way over to Puanso, and then turned over immediately as Unwanted doing a nice job of controlling the zone here early. We talked about during our key success, going to try to find more shots or more zone time. No shots during that whole possession, but nevertheless, we're able to find a little bit more of that zone time. Tapping in on the other end here for Straikers, holding it, bumped off, but gets it back. Goes back down low to Aki, shot on in front from Puanso, saved by Carlson Adam. Straikers still at the possession. Aki, a little backhand shot from the side, save made, and here comes Unwanted on the counterattack. This is where they thrive. Pass across and they score! Henko on the pass from Laude puts it in past Hanselino, and Unwanted draw first blood. A 1-0 lead, less than 5 minutes in the game number 3. And you get a look at the replay, you can see just that little pass across. Able to get past the defender. Poke check attempt made there by Eki, I believe that was. He just wasn't able to get the stick on it. And Unwanted with the early lead here, 1-0. And there's that counterattack we talked about. Those are the plays that Unwanted loves to pounce on. You got a taste of it right there. They get on the scoreboard from it. Can Straikers respond, however? They're in the offensive zone now. He controls at the point, goes to Flower Coogan down low. Now to Puanso, right, to hit Flower Coogan back, but it's turned over, and Carlson Adam will get possession and hold on for a freeze. An early lead here for Unwanted. Straikers looking to strike back as they have an offensive zone faceoff. Tied up in the defensive zone, won by Unwanted. Laude has it, bumped off. Nice play there from Pat Bean to get that puck off him as he controls and then gives it to Flower Coogan, who passed it up to Templeton. Tried to hit Eki across the middle, but could not find him cleanly as Unwanted give chase to that puck and find it. Tiff turns it over before he gets out of the zone, but it finds his way into the neutral zone after he's bumped off again. Coogan now with it, hit off of that puck, but gets it right back over at the boards. Puanso to Papine, back to Puanso at the right corner. Looking for an option, doesn't have anything. Great defense there by Unwanted. Snus at the left boards, pass across, save made by Hanselino. Has to squeeze the pads to keep that from rolling on in. He will find that puck and will hold on for a stoppage. Once again, the counter-attacking of Unwanted, giving them a quick opportunity. Face off to the left of Hanselino. Won by Unwanted in the offensive zone. Laude has it pass across, almost found that one-timer to Henka, but it was disrupted. Here comes Straikers on the counter. Monso tried to pass that over to Templeton, but couldn't hit him cleanly, and now here comes Unwanted yet again. Neutral zone, lost it. Puanso gets it. Finds Eki. Goes down low. Tries to find Templeton down there, and it finds his way back to Eki. Now, shot on from Puanso at the high slot. Glove save made by Carlson Adam, and he will freeze this once again. It's over 12 minutes into this game number 1. Unwanted were able to strike first. Henko with the game opening goal. Want it, get it in the defensive zone, and here comes Laude. He doesn't have a lot of help. That's 1-on-4, and that's not going to typically bode well for you. Immediately turned over, and here comes Straikers, but they're not able to keep it either. They'll have to go all the way back into their own zone and reset things. Flower Kungan up to Papine, and now he gets it back. Finds Eki past the blue line. Straikers in the offensive zone, but not for long as it's turned over. Puck loose in the neutral zone, finds his way to Eki, who gets it to Tempinen. Tempinen tried to dump it in, but it was blocked away, and now they get it in down low as it took a weird bounce off the boards. Found Carlson Adam, and he'll once again freeze it here for another stoppage. Back and forth so far. The shots have not been super high danger since that one-time attempt there by Unwanted a few minutes ago. As here's a 2-on-1 for Hanka. Tried to pass it across over to Laune, but he couldn't hit him. A nice poke check made there by the Straikers defense. Here comes Eki over to Tempinen. Shot on, would not go. It was blocked away. Swift controls it, gives the Laune. Now over to Pikisari. Tries to get a shot on in front. It was saved by Hanselinho. Puck loose in the corner board, and it's found by Straikers. Eki has a pair of teammates with him. It's 3-on-3 right now. I want to get all 5 defensemen back. Bean in the corner board. Back to the point to Flower Kungan. Working his way in the middle, but could not find the pass. Puck losing, it finds the way to Puanso. Now to Tempinen. Over to Eki. Shot on. Save made by Carlson Adam. 1 minute remaining here in period number 1. Unwanted looking to hold on to their 1-goal lead or extend it as they have in the offensive zone now. Snus. Over to Suf. To Hanka. Now Laune with it in the right corner. 8 seconds to go. Laune with it. Shot on. Not going to go through. Papine holds it here for Straikers. Loses it, however. Quick shot off from Hanka. Hanselinho gets the save. Covers it up. Time will expire. And that will do it for a action-filled period number 1. Unwanted with the goal to open things up. It was on this cross-crease play right here. Laune feeding it over to Hanka. Hanselinho not able to get there. And they lead 1-0 after the opening 20 minutes of game number 2. Or excuse me, game number 3. So far, this exactly as advertised. Back and forth, plenty of opportunities. You see Unwanted already with just 1 less shot than we saw them have in the entirety of game number 2. They had 6 shots in game 2. They had 5 in that first period alone. And there's a closer look. There's just a sweeping backhand shot there by Hanka to beat Hanselinho there on that play. And there the save at the end made by Hanselinho as Unwanted looked to push the issue one more time. See how Straikers can respond. They had a couple of opportunities, but nothing too high danger there in that first period. We are back underway for period number 2. And we want to win the neutral zone face-off, and Nuss will control it and give it over to the right side to Laune. Finds Pikisari. Gave it up as Tempinen finds it over the corner boards, and here comes Straikers on the counter. 4-on-3, but offsides, not able to get organized there on the rush. Go back in the neutral zone here for a face-off. Closer look at that time and attack, just a little bit under a 1-minute difference in favor of Straikers. 247 compared to 155. Straikers have it right now. The neutral zone, but it's turned over. Laune had it for a moment, but lost that puck off the skin of Papine. Tempinen with it. Gives it up over to Puanso. Spin move. Tried to pass it down low over to Eki, but he couldn't hit him. And here comes Unwanted on that counterattack. Hanka with a shot on. Save made easily by Hanselinho, and he'll go ahead and freeze this. Not going to risk anything by playing it out. We had another face-off here, this time in the Unwanted offensive end. Either the right of Hanselinho. Tied up. Won by Straikers. Rushed and gotten to by Tempinen as he's tripped up from behind, and a delayed penalty going to be called against Unwanted. So the league's best power play in the regular season will go at it here for the first time in game 3 as Unwanted commit a tripping penalty, and that will be Snus, the left defenseman, heading to the box. As we do want to apologize for any lag issues that you guys are seeing. We'll try to get that cleaned up as we can. The face-off will be to the right side of Carlson Adam. Tied up, won by Straikers. Being at the point. Tupuaso shot on. Easy save made there by Carlson Adam. Unwanted can't get it out. Striker still pushing. Another shot on. Another save. Puck loose in front. Battled for. Scrum and found by the goaltender. And Carlson Adam. And he will rightfully freeze this to stop the chaos happening in front of him. 11 face-off tonight. Both sides have won the first 10 evenly at 5 apiece. This one won by Straikers. Papine at the high point. Skates into the slot, gives to Puanzo at the left face-off circle. Back to Papine at the point. Shot on, blocked in front. Giving chase and finds his way back to Papine again. Gives it to Puanzo. Those two just working back and forth with each other. Now over to the opposite side of the tap and passing. Save made! What a save made by Carlson Adam! Striker still pushing. Papine shot on, blocked by a defender in front. Another chance, another save. Puck loose in front. Scrum for, found by Unwanted, but a power play coming yet again for Straikers. An interference by Suf in front of the net, and a power play that was cooking in the first 2 minutes will have their lives extended once again. As it was just right there, that one little bump in front. Is once again, how about that save there from Carlson Adam, who has been nothing short of phenomenal all series long. He's going to have to continue to be here. The Straikers get it in the offensive zone. Quick shot on, not really anything there. And full pressure activated here by Straikers, but it's cleared out by Unwanted. What a timely clear. Straikers going to try to rush their way back into the offensive zone. Flyer Kuhn controls it, loses it. Papine gets it at the blue line. Battle for it, found by Eki. Pass across and a 5-on-3 coming. Another penalty by Unwanted. This time it's Hanka going to the box. Absolutely huge opportunity here for Straikers to tie this game. They are 0 for 5 on the power play here in this series so far. Tied up, won by Straikers. Papine. The Puanzo blocker save made on the shot on. Eki still has it. Gives it up there as Snus was able to clear that one out. 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Straikers have got to take advantage of this here. Could be absolutely momentum shifting if they don't. Eki has it. Puck loose in front. Wagner gets a shot on. They score! The pass to Tepinen. Big Carlson Adam glove side. They convert on the power play. They make it 1 for 6. And it's a tie game at 1 apiece. You get a look at the replay and just a quick little snap of that one-timer there from Tepinen waiting on that right side. Carlson Adam, he's made every other save, just was not able to get to that one. And just like that, we are tied at 1. We are back to 5-on-5. Back and forth we go here in this game, in this series. Unwanted looking to respond. Shot on, glove save made by Hanselino. Straikers control it with Papine. Gives it up to Puanzo, who finds Eki down the middle, but it's turned over. Unwanted look to counter quickly. Kisari at the point. Tried to give it over to Suf down the middle, but he couldn't find him open, and now Straikers maintained it. Guanzo across the Tepinen. Holds it, goes back to the point, but the pass off target to Flyer Kungen, and that's going to force a reset. Flyer Kungen on the breakout, gives it to Eki, but it's called off sides as I believe Tepinen was just a little bit ahead of Eki there crossing the blue line. And wants to control this here. 8 minutes to go in period number 2. Back into the offensive zone. Puck circled around to the opposite end. Sorry has it at the point. Lowney with it. Now over to Hank up the left boards. Goes down low to Suf. Suf behind the net trying to find a play. Nothing there. Was hit off of that puck. And Eki will pick it up. Eki pressure, trying to get out of it, and he finds Flyer Coogan on the opposite end. Quick pass there to Puanzo, works perfection as they're able to get out of their own zone. Nice play there from Straikers, as Unwanted starting to apply a bit of an aggressive forecheck look here. Puanzo with it, tried to pass into the middle there to a cutting Eki, but nice pickoff there made by the Unwanted defenders. Got a counter, but nothing there, and they'll have to reset after the turnover in the neutral zone. 4.5 minutes to play, tied at 1 here between these two sides. Both in game and in series, 1-1. Dugan has it behind the net. They'll begin the breakout, scanning the ice, trying to find something, and makes the easy pass over to Papine, who will control it and turns it over. Henka to Suf in the offensive zone, now to Laune at the right boards. Tries to go down low, finds Henka. Henka bumped off, puck loose behind the net, finds his way to Laune. Words can be hard at times as they have it in front. Eki almost lost that there, but it's picked up by Flyer Kungan, and now here comes Tempinen. Beating down the boards. Tempinen with space. Tried to pass it through the middle, but nothing was there, and here comes Unwanted down on the opposite side. They had it for a moment, but lost it. 30 seconds to play here in the second period. Straikers looking to attack. Wanso tries to stride his way down the middle. No options available. He has it now behind the net. Flyer cooling with it. 3 seconds to go. Straikers need to get a shot off. One-timer from the high point. Nothing there. Blocked in front. And that will do it for period number 2. Unwanted had that 1-0 lead. Looked like they were going to be able to find their way to a little bit of magic there, but Straikers capitalize after 3 consecutive penalties. They convert on the power play, tie this thing up at 1-1. As just so you guys know, we are trying to currently clean up things on the feed. So we've heard you guys in the chat. Do not worry. We're trying to clean that up for you right now. That's why you see that graphic with the current date and the score so far in this series, as it also represents the game score, 1-1 between these two sides as we head into period number 3. Very even so far. Straikers definitely with the advantage in that period number 2. A lot of it having to do with the momentum that they got off of the power play. As there's a look at the replay of the goal to tie things up. That quick one-timer there over to Tempinen, as you get a quick look at those stats right there. Unwanted already with more shots than what we saw them have in the entirety of game number 2. Carlson Adam, during our interview earlier, he talked a bit about the offense needing to be a bit better. So far, he's gotten that. Question is, can they capitalize? Get a win here in game 3, go up 2-1, or will Straikers take that 2-1 series advantage? Unwanted, they have it in the offensive zone as we start out period number 3. Henka behind the net, hit the side of the cage there, found his way to Hanselinho, and he'll hold on for a freeze. Off will be to the left side of Hanselinho, right side of our screen. We're still looking at the perspective of Unwanted. He went in the offensive zone, one-timer from the point. They've made from Hanselinho, and he'll once again hold it. These goalies risking nothing so far. I don't think either Hanselinho or Carlson Adam have played that puck out. They know what's on the line. They don't want to be overly aggressive and make a mistake. Understandably so. Defensive zone face-off won by Straikers. Flyer Kungan speeds in the neutral zone, finds a forward in front, puck loose there for a second, but Unwanted will get to it as it'll be controlled by Snuts, the left defenseman for Unwanted. Goes to Suf, left of the left boards, passes it down low and finds Laune. Back to Suf at the high point, but nothing there. Now here comes Straikers on the other end. Eki, one-timer off the pass to Tempinen. Won't go, and now here come Unwanted on the other end, but just a hair off sides. And I'll stop the clock at 16:01 to play in period number 3. How about that quick one-time attempt there by Tempinen? Add the goal to tie things up. Tie up, face-off won by Puanzo. Flyer Kungan controls it. Finds Papine, now to Eki. Eki down low to Puanzo, but turned over as Laune has it. He moves it in past the blue line. Laune looking, pass across, puck was another shot on, saved by Hanselinho. He'll get a hold on that puck and he will freeze it yet again. And that's the quick moving, quick striking offense of Unwanted there. Toss that turnover, they beat their way down the other end and get a quick chance. It's where a lot of their goals come from, or plays like that. It's how their first goal of this game came if you're just joining us. Straikers control it, Tempinen flying up the boards, pass across, oh, and one right there, and it's going to go all the way to the opposite end. Papine going to have to reset. Giving up over to Eki. Down low. Holding his Tempinen. Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan to Tempinen. Back down low to Eki, now to Peraza. Shot on from the point. Save made from Carlson Adam. Straikers still in control here, though. Tepinen has it. Unwanted got a piece of that. Will dump it into the neutral zone. Puck loose in the neutral zone, found by Straikers. Puck loose again, and Papine will pick it up at the high point. Dubbed by Laune. Laune shot on, swept away from Hasalino. Anka at the point. Nothing there, as here comes Straikers on the other end. Flyer Kungen with it. Down low, over to Puanzo, skates in front of the net. Flyer Kungen has it at the high point. Nothing there once again. Here comes Unwanted on the counter. Hanka holding it, trying to find space, trying to find a pass. Nothing there for him. Great job there from Straikers, causing the turnover. 7 minutes to play, we're still all tied at 1. Could the next goal be the winner for either of these two teams? Controlled by Unwanted, but he's bumped off that puck. And here comes Straikers on the other end. They control it in the ozone. Guanzo with it. Waiting. Down low. Spin move over at the corner boards there by Tepinen. And it will be found by Carlson Adam, and he'll hold on for a freeze. .5:25 to play in period number 3. Face-off won by Straikers in the offensive zone. Guanzo up to Nasastelia. Shot on from Flyer Kungen. Blocked in front. I do have to apologize. The name glitch was getting me there a little bit. That's Nasastelia that's over at that right defense spot, not Papine. So please do forgive me for that mistake. EA, we love you, but please get that fixed for us. As Unwanted have it in their own zone, but it's turned over. One-timer save made off of the glove of Carlson Adam. I think he got a piece of that as his goalie went sprawling. And it'll lead to an icing on the other end. We'd have to get a closer look at it. Maybe it went wide, but Carlson Adams' goalie, definitely had a sprawling animation there, so I think he may have gotten a piece of that. Face-off won by Straikers. Shot on. Looked like it may have been blocked. As I want to control in their own zone, trying to get out of it. Zuff gets it, but not for long. Turned over in the neutral zone as Nasastelia skated in past the blue line, but he's offside. 73 seconds remaining in regulation. The next goal we see more than likely will be the winner. Who's going to get it? Unwanted won game number 1 by a score of 2-1. They're hoping to do so again. Straikers won game number 2, 2-0. It takes a second goal for them to get a victory. Who's going to find it? Guanzo holding it, looking, goes to the corner board and rings it around the opposite end point, but nobody was there. It'll be reset now. Moving it in there with Straikers, and they couldn't find anything. Counterattack here for Unwanted. Moving it to the left side. Nothing there. The puck goes loose in the neutral zone, and it's turned over. 35 seconds left. Straikers with it. Delia couldn't find anything. The Flyer Kungen picks it up after Straikers have to touch up. They do, and they're in the offensive zone now. Tried to put a move on there to Puanzo, but he couldn't. Here comes Hanka, 20 seconds remaining. Will we have overtime? Hanka kicks it over down low, pass across in front, puck loose, found by Hasalino, and he'll stop it for a freeze. 14.1 remaining. Face off to the left of Hasalino in Unwanted's offensive zone. Won by Unwanted. Here's Piki Sardi. Shot on. Pass save made by Hasalino. Now Sestelia cleans it up. 7 seconds. Last gasp here for Straikers in regulation. Tapping with it. Pass across. Puck loose. Picked up by Laune. He'll hold on to the puck. And that will do it for regulation. 3 periods and 60 minutes not enough. Not surprising for these two teams. We will go to a overtime. The winner will go up 2-1 in this series as there's another look at that close chance. So close there. I think that may have gotten a piece of the glove of Carlson Adam, may have gotten a piece of the post as well. Nevertheless, no goal. Still knotted up at 1. It'll take an extra frame, potentially even more than that, to decide a winner in this one. Look at the stats, very even in terms of the shots, 11-13 in favor of Straikers. Straikers more favorable towards the time of attack, but that's what you come to expect from them. Just take a look at a few of those last-minute chances from both these two teams. That one right there, one of the better ones, just hit off of the stick of Carlson Adam and swept away. Another, ooh, that was a really good chance there too. Tried to go 5-hole, but once again, Carlson Adams' stick doing a good bit of work for him right there. Here we go. Overtime number 1. We will go until we have a goal. Face off will go all the way into the Strikers' defensive zone, and Flyer Kungen will give it to Nasistelia, who will go to Eki. Eki tried to hit Puanzo, but was turned over immediately. Eka has it. Tried to hit Suf as they tried to cross the blue line, but it was offside. Be interesting to see how this overtime period works, knowing what's on the line. Do we see some of that continued chaos that we saw in the first 3 periods? Do things kind of close up a little bit with both teams not wanting to make a mistake? See Unwanted not forechecking too much here. Now they put it on a little bit as Straikers moving in the offensive zone. Offside warning, as it will be offside. They did get a piece of that puck there past the blue line. So 2 offsides here to start this overtime period. Showing a little bit of the defense we see on both ends. Face off won by Straikers in the neutral zone, but turned over immediately. Snows controls it here for Unwanted. Gives it to Laune at the right boards. Puck goes all the way into the opposite end boards as Flyer Kungen comes up with it. Eki to Puanzo. Puanzo moving around, trying to find space, but it's turned over as Laune got it, but didn't have it for long. Eki with it for Straikers. Past the blue line, holding in, looking for a pass. Goes to the point up to Nastelia. Shot on from those 2 and they score! Tipped in front by Teppanen! And Straikers take game number 3, 2-1 in overtime! The tip in front by Teppanen on the one-timer from the point from Flyer Kungen. We've seen that play work plenty of times for the Strikers team, and it works for them there as you get a replay of it there. Just camped out in front there was Teppanen. A lot of traffic there, nothing you can do about that as a goaltender. Perfectly tipped. Picks that high left side. And Straikers escape game 3 with an OT victory, as there's one more look at it right there. And just a perfect deflection. 2-1 victory for Straikers, 2-1 series lead for Straikers. And now a pivotal game 4 to follow what was a thrilling back and forth contest between these 2 good teams. Teppanen with both goals in this game. He has stepped up huge. The addition for Straikers coming in for Patslav. His team made a few adjustments to the forward line. Eki moving back up to center. Teppanen being added. Had 23 goals for this team in the regular season. Had 1 in the games on Monday. Had 2 in what has been the most important game of this series so far, but that's about to be surpassed by an even more important game 4 as you get a look at the goals there. That first one from Unwanted and Straikers finding the next 2, both off of the stick of Teppanen as, again, that set play from the point. Flyer Kungen getting that slap shot after the pass from Nasistelia. Tipped in front, found its way past Carlson Adam, and Straikers with a 2-1 win in game number 3, and now a 2-1 series lead as we will bring you guys back into the studio. Brandon B. Major Bixby here with you. Straikers with a big-time victory as we now look forward to game number 4. Before we get there, we're going to take a quick break here from our sponsor in COVID Unlocracy, but do not go away. A huge game and series turning game 4 upcoming here in just a few minutes. Do not go away. We'll be right back after a short break.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.